Hi. Hold on. My mic is okay, right? Okay, there we go. I lowered the attack. My fucking PC crashed as I was trying to set up the VTuber Awards thing yesterday. So I'm not sure if like settings are okay, but it should be. I would like to think. Hi. Okay, hi everyone. So we have a... I don't normally... Okay. Look. I don't normally cover drama when it comes to... I don't cover drama in the VTubing, in non-VTubing sense, okay? I'm very... like, I don't cover the stuff that's going on between, like, Flush streamers, because I'm going to be honest, while I do consume it, like... as a viewer, right? Like, I watch the next WestJet videos and fucking get my TLDR from there on. But I do, like, because this drama is, like, sort of loosely VTubing related because, well, VTubing or Weeb related, I guess, because we got, like, some bombshell news that Mythic and Mugen just fucking dropped Tectone. So the Tectone situation truly is crazy. Never even heard of the guy? I'm jealous of you. Every single streamer in the planet in the fucking VTubing planet has heard or knows of Tectone. And Douglas Diaz, by the way, thank you for the gifts. Oh shit, wrong one. Yeah, thank you for the gifts, man. I big appreciate. Yeah. So, should we get into it? We have a lot of well, maybe not a lot, because aside from that, we're going to talk about the developments of the advanced GG situation, where, if you guys remember, during the fallout of the Rev Says Desu and Miss Lala situation, a lot of streamers were actively trying to get advanced. Were actively like leaving advanced GG as a way to protest the brand to drop Rev. And because, you know, haha, I'll drop this brand because fucking Miss Lala. This happened to Miss Lala, and you guys are platforming Rev Says Desu, so I refuse, like shit like that, right? So we're going to get into that now. Used to like Tectone when he just made gacha videos. Well, apparently he stopped. Okay, so a little bit of a detail here. Apparently he stopped making those sorts of videos and pivoted towards, you know, right-wing patriot content to escape the allegations that is being thrown at him now, apparently. So we're gonna get into it. Actually, let's just get into that. Yeah, he grifted hard. Yeah, and apparently there's a reason why he went into that sort of content, right? So, oh, shit! Okay, oops. Wrong one. There we go. Oops, EXD? Yeah, okay. Okay, never mind. Yeah, there we go. We're live? We're live. We're live. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So. Drinking a bit of water real quick. I know, before I talk about any of this, okay? Before I talk about any of this, I know that Legal Mindset is actually talking about this drama. And for a bit, I was actually in his channel. I was watching it, right? Because I wanted to see the facts, right? I wanted to see what the fuck is going on here. And they are covering a lot of... He is covering some interesting details about the document. Because he has, like, the actual transcripts of the court records that, you know, of everything that's going on here. So I was watching that for a sec, so I could have like an actual unbiased opinion on the whole thing. I mean, I already know. You guys already know my opinion of what is the name of Tectone, right? Like you guys do know that, right? I kind of don't like him. TBH, I feel, but we'll get into that later. So anyway, there's a lot of history between Tectone, Freem, and Pikachu, right? The TLDR of what you guys might know about is that Freem and Tectone, you guys might know Freem because she's a VTuber now, right? She's a VTuber now. And she divorced him, right? She divorced Tectone for reasons that we'll probably get into later. And then he got into a relationship this time with Pikachu, this one streamer, a cosplayer who just started an OnlyFans like 2024, but apparently it wasn't all that good, right? There were some allegations concerning how Tectone treated Pikachu that was sort of a fallout of a result of what happened between him and Freem. And we get a little bit of a fast forward into 2025, where Pikachu decided to sue Tectone. And it's all because of Tectone just spewing a lot of bullshit around Pikachu. Well, bullshit in Pikachu's sense. Like, apparently, Tectone was talking about a lot of things, a lot of threats, like subtweeting her, among many other things. And apparently, Tectone threatened her with revenge porn. Didn't she cheat on her or something? Something along those lines, yeah. And apparently, Tectone threatened her with revenge porn. That I was going over this with Legal Mindset earlier, where I was watching his stream. One of the biggest allegations that Pikachu threw at Tectone was that there were a lot of threats from Tectone where he had recorded him doing intimate acts with him, and Pikachu would ask him to delete it. Tectone would not, and when the fallout happened, Tectone, in order to silence Pikachu, would threaten her by saying that he would spread these to other people, among many other things. Yeah. So there's a lot of that going on. Obviously, I am going to say allegations because there's we will have court records, but because I have not driven through the entire extent of all the sides of everything, I can't really say for certain, just for legal reasons. You used he twice. Who did what? Tectone threatened Pikachu to drop revenge porn on friends and on public. Anyone got the link to the court order? I don't have that right now. I mean, I don't think you can have that actually. Or maybe you can, but you'd have to get over onto the government website. What we're going to go through right now is just the current happenings of the drama. When it comes to like the actual legalese and like the actual stuff that's going on, I'll leave that to the people that can and are able to talk about it. But it's just that most of the things that we're going to talk about is the social fallout of what's going on here between other content creators reacting to this, among the stuff that's going on to Tectone recently, right? Because some interesting developments happened. Muujin reacted to this by cutting ties with Tectone. Apparently, he knew about it since 2024. So we're going to go over that from the very beginning here. So, apparently, remember when Tectone went to take a break on September? Apparently, he did that. Apparently, okay, allegedly, he did that to take care of all of this shit, right? Okay. So yeah, let's look at this.
And I want to let you know, if any of you guys think it's because of me streaming or me being stressed because of the YouTube's, upload schedule, it's not. I love content creation. I do. It's just the culture that I have a problem with. But if you're just here to know this, no, I'm not coming back yet. No, I'm not going to be back for a while.
Sure, yeah. This is all because of the legal stuff going on, okay, chat?
And yes, I do miss you because I love you.
Okay.
No,
in a non-platonic way.
Guys, I really do. And I will say, expect a couple YouTube uploads, maybe like one a week. I'll just be talking to you guys about whatever comes into my mind, maybe more. But I needed to get away for a while. I really did. In case you're wondering why, there are evil people on this earth that are currently making my life fucking miserable.
Yeah.
Even more than
evil people. It is so funny. There are evil people, he says.
You guys know,
yeah.
It is deeply personal shit that I'm having to deal with right now.
Yeah.
And a lot of it, and I'm not going to go into this too much, but there's a lot of very dangerous things happening in my life right now that I'm just trying to take care
Non-platonic? No, I meant it. I meant that Yinka. It's like I was trying to make fun of him. Like,
Care of the people around me, the people who I love. And I'll probably talk about that later. But when I do come back, I'll post about it on Twitter. I'll post about it on YouTube. And just thank you guys for staying subscribed. And thank you guys for liking my videos. And
Okay, yeah, whatever. So that happened, right? That happened. So, yeah. He was trying to take care of the lawsuit and like all of these things. The irony behind an evil person crying over others being evil. Okay, so then I'm going to talk about why people are actually celebrating this, okay? I mean, obviously there are a lot of people not celebrating this because they like Tectone's content, they like him as a person, or maybe they like him because of his political takes or like how he sides, right? Because he's like a famous figure that sides with like, you know, the right wing sort of politics. So, but the reason why people don't like him is because he's one, there's a history of him being like a super toxic asshole in the gacha game community. So a lot of people in the gacha game community does not like him, right? And two, aside from people in the gacha game community not liking him, he pivoted his content towards like into like a political sort of thing, right? But in the way where he doesn't actually have his own opinions. It's more like he shitsters on Twitter. Yeah, he shitsters on Twitter. It seems like he doesn't really think about the things that he says. He doesn't really have nuanced takes, or at least the things that people see about the things that he says aren't nuanced. Like at the very least, right? Like people may hate Asmongold, but at the very least, the opinions that Asmongold makes are sometimes reasonable, or it's actually from his opinion. And people think that Tectone does not have that. That Tectone is actually lapdogging off of Asmongold. Like just basically copying him. He's basically like, you know, sucking up to Asmongold. He is, by according to a lot of people, by every extension, an actual grifter. He doesn't have his own unique content that makes him stand out. He's basically just copy-pasting Asmongold, basically. Right? And, you know, I don't know. Me personally, mini Asmongold, yeah, basically. Right? Didn't they both get booted from OTK? Asmongold? No, Asmongold was one of the founders of OTK. And Tectone too, I guess, but like they dropped, yes, Mythic did drop Tectone earlier, like several months ago even, right? So that did happen, and at first, when I heard all of that, when I heard about all the whole fucking, you know, Tectone being a grifter, people don't like Tectone, all this shit, I didn't care. Right? I didn't care because like who the fuck is this guy? I don't know him. He doesn't affect my space personally, like VTubing, right? He hasn't done anything to harm me or my peers. In fact, he actually frequently collabs with a lot of the big streamers, right? In VTubing at least. Like was it Shylily? If I remember, Shylily, did Shylily collab with him? Shylily Tectone. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. This was back in 2023 though, so probably not. Wait, actually, yeah, 2024. So there were times. Hold on. Look. Okay. Yeah. So a few people have actually collabed with Tectone before. A few VTubers, but outside that, I didn't really know him. I didn't really know him that much, right? Is there anything legally bad that he did? We're going to get into that. So, a couple months later, literally last week, Miskiff reveals a bombshell. So, the reason why, okay, so, but one thing you have to know about Miskiff, okay? We all know Miskiff from the Emiru situation, right? Miskiff is himself not a very good person. Every bad thing that you can think, every bad attribute that a streamer can have, Miskiff probably has it. An ego problem, he has it. Manipulation, Miskiff has it. Probably a sex pest, I don't know about that, but maybe Miskiff has it. Like a lot of many things, yeah. So, he is going demon time. His promised demon time came in. So let's go about it.
Times that she didn't want to be recorded. The judge said delete everything about Pinkchu on your phone or I'm going to try you for criminal charges.
Okay.
That he is ordered to remove and delete and get rid of all pictures and videos without her permission, and even with or he will face criminal charges. He is forced to pay her attorney fees,
wow,
around $50,000. The protective order is for 10 years, chat.
Wow. So how did Mizkif get this information, you ask? Well, Mizkif got a guy to get into the hearing, apparently, is what happened. Wow. Very interesting. Heartwarming. The worst people you know are fighting. You're so true. Yeah. Yeah, this is also hilarious to me, TBH. I'm gonna be real with you. Yeah. But why? Oh, because these are big streamers, chat. They don't like each other. Like, a lot of people in the streamer, Texas, LA cliques, they don't like each other. Especially because, like, Mizkif used to be part of OTK. And Asmongold and Tectone was a huge part in the campaign against Mizkif's downfall. Okay, maybe not Tectone, right? But Tectone was, like, inside, at least, probably a supporter of it. So, Mizkif has a hate boner against ex-members of OTK and basically everybody who celebrated and reacted and did anything to contribute to his downfall. It's not just Emiru, it's not just OTK, it's a lot of the other people. Yeah. So was Tectone sued and found guilty, or is the suit still in the air? He was found guilty, yes. Just like what Tectone said, yes, he was. A lot of the punishment, we're going to get into a lot of the punishments earlier, or like what a lot of the results were.
I don't think a lot of you understand how crazy it is to get a protective order. That means when Tectone goes on planes, he has to do something. That it's going to follow Tectone for the next 10 years of his life. It is serious shit.
Okay.
It is serious shit.
It's blurry.
And he can't own guns. He can't own any type of weapon in his house. They're all going to get seized.
Okay, so do you know why he... Okay, so interesting context as to why he's not allowed to own guns. I got this from... correct me if I'm wrong, but I got this based off of, like, the transcripts, the court transcripts that I got from the Legal Mindset stream. Pinky argues that the reason why he shouldn't be able to get that, or maybe, like, indirectly the reason why he's not allowed to own guns, is because, chat, surprise, surprise, I didn't even know this until now, Tectone actually has schizophrenia. Like not VTuber joke schizophrenia, actual schizophrenia. Well, there are times where he gets scared, he's scared to sleep alone, he's scared that when he does things to people, apparently there were times where even when Tectone looks at Pink, her face looks all warbled and fucked up. And look, I'm not one to make fun of that, okay? Like, yeah, I make fun of, like, joke schizophrenia, but, like, actual mental illness like that, I don't want to joke about it. But, like, that's the reason why he's not allowed to own guns. Because when he gets into... It's like a preventative measure, basically. What Tech has yeah, apparently he has schizophrenia. Okay, I say that allegedly he has schizophrenia. But that's a huge part of why. Yeah. And apparently, he refuses to do anything about it. Apparently... this is allegedly, okay, from Pinky's side. Pinky says that they have been trying to get Tectone into, like, you know, treatment for that, but he just refuses. Where was that from? From the court records, from the transcripts that Legal Mindset has. I was watching it earlier. Yeah, the transcripts basically say that. So that has been said in court. Yeah, he said a few times that he does have it. I didn't even know that. I don't watch the guy. So, okay, so I didn't know anything about that. So anyway, let's look at that.
He can't.
Okay, more he said, she said. Well, I mean, if he did say that, apparently he said a few times that he does have it. So if he did say that, then, you know, that's not really a he said, she said at this point. Yeah.
Talk about her, or any time can talk about her on stream. He can't own guns and ammunition. He must stay at least 200 yards away from her. And if they happen to be in the same place at the same time by accident, he must leave immediately.
Yeah.
Just wait, chat. Okay, but that's not true. You actually would sit her down with a whiteboard and go over everything to convince her that she was wrong. I'm failing to see how this two connect, but I don't understand what you, in regard, we've talked about with the whiteboard.
Okay.
And you would sit down with her with the whiteboard, and whatever position she was taking, you were all disagreeing on, correct? If we were having an argument and not seeing eye to eye, and we weren't seeing eye to eye, visual aid really helped her, as well as to me. This dude would pull out a whiteboard to explain why she is wrong about consensual, non-consensual.
That sounds bad, but hey, me personally, that sounds really bad actually, but me personally, we'll just have to see.
Are you kidding me? he would have to bring out a whiteboard and say, oh, the reason why is because she doesn't understand it. So I have to visually show her and explain it. So we would have a conversation of non-consensual, consensual on a fucking whiteboard.
That's kind of funny.
Are you kidding me? And he admits it. This is him talking. Big shout out to Axion here for going to court and writing a lot of this down.
Yeah, basically. Again, the reason why he knows, Minskef knows this is because he got a guy to do it, right? So yeah, oh shit, not this one. So yeah, here's the TLDR, okay? Here's the TLDR. Oh, not this one. Where was it? Okay, there we go. Here's the TLDR, chat. Here's the TLDR. Update. The official protective order was filed with the Travis County today, as well as Tectone's affidavit confirming that he knows he can no longer possess firearms. Here are the highlights from the documents. The court finds that there are reasonable grounds to believe Tectone both sexually assaulted and stalked Pink. The court believes that it is likely the stalking would persist if he is not legally barred from it. Okay? The protective order persists until 10 years from now, basically, from the thing where it happened. Tectone will pay $15,000 in Pink's lawyer fees. Tectone cannot share any photos or videos of Pink with anyone. Tectone cannot communicate with Pink directly or indirectly except through her lawyer. Tectone cannot engage in any conduct that is reasonably likely to harass, annoy, alarm, abuse, torment, or embarrass Pink directly. Tectone cannot go 200 yards of Pinkichu or her residence or her place of work. Tectone cannot possess or receive firearms. Okay. So, wow. That is basically the TLDR of all of this, right? And it's quite insane stuff. Let's look. We're going to get into this later. And apparently, there's also like funny things that happen too, by the way. Like for example, yeah, Tectone view botting. Wow.
I have these because I'm a fucking demon, and when you fuck with me, I'm gonna fucking destroy you.
Okay.
This is the bots that he bought, right?
Okay.
This is August 24th.
Okay.
Another time he bought bots.
XDDD, John. His name John, Techie. Did you get my bots?
XDD, did you buy my bots with the fucking cringe ass emoji? LOL, just say like, cause I do my lewd content, I need my own space. Tectone probably should.
These are all stuff that's been given over to the court.
I have these because I'm a fucking demon. Cringe ass emoji. LOL, just say like, cause I do my lewd content, I need my.
Don't worry, I get you. Did you get the bots repeated again? I could only do 750, but I sent you this link to everything. Sad emoji, you can't try again. So yeah, surprise, surprise. They buy bots. Wow. So if the court thought he essayed this girl, why isn't he in jail? Because apparently, okay, it's not a criminal suit. It's a civil suit. So what Pinky wanted... Okay, so here's the thing, right? Pinky basically just wanted Tectone to shut the fuck up and leave her alone. Because Tectone would not shut the fuck up and leave her alone. Okay? There are actually no... how do I want to say this? The point there was not to to get Tectone criminally charged or get him in jail. It's to basically just make it so that there's a court order where Tectone cannot come, talk, or do anything with against her. Right? And how do I want to say this without like sounding retarded? There's no 100% proof that Tectone does and will do that. Is like, you know, that kind of a threat to anyone or anything, right? But there is, at least according to the court, a reasonable likelihood that that behavior against Pinky will continue unless there is a legal demand to do so, right? So basically, yeah, that's basically just it. She just wanted protection, and that's just it. Yeah. Yeah. So that's basically just it. So Tectone is not criminally charged. He's not on a, like, you know, he's not categorically called a criminal. He's not like, you know, he's not put on a list. He's not any of this. But it still kind of looks bad for him. Yes. Yes. He should have been charged. What a creep. Well, nobody is filing a criminal order against him. Nobody. So unless somebody does that, and there is like the thing about like criminal convictions and shit like that, chat, is that even in the Philippines, unless you have like 100% proof that a crime was committed, especially when it comes to sexual stuff, you need proof, like actual fucking proof that this happened. If there is only evidence that makes it highly likely that this happened, but it's not like, you know, it's not like something that can guarantee that it happened. It just makes it so that it likely happened. You probably won't be able to win something like that. You probably won't. Yeah, civil and criminal penalties also have different burdens of proof. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, they do. In the Philippines, it's also sort of like that, if I remember correctly. You can quote me. Any Filipino lawyer can like correct me if I'm wrong there. But in the Philippines, it's also somewhat similar, where like there's different penalties for it, but that's why there's also different levels of proof needed. The term is beyond a reasonable doubt. Yeah, exactly. So, is he still screwed? Yes, absolutely, right. And then all of this happens, right? And while Tectone was in the middle of this, he decided to comment on Pokimane, right? He decided to comment on Pokimane, basically calling her like a hypocrite and all sorts of bad things. And I think this is the core of the reason why people don't like Tectone, right? People kind of don't like Tectone. Okay, so in regards to Pokimane, I do think Pokimane is like a performative, like, you know, she's performative herself. I don't know what about her content is like, you know, I can't even simp for her, and among many other things. Like, I don't know why people like Pokimane. She's not a good streamer. Maybe the allegations where it's just a bunch of people simping for her and her content and blah 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 is correct. But basically, Tectone, his entire content right now, from being a gacha game streamer and like talking about gacha games and doing gacha game stuff, is basically doing shit like this. Just basically throwing a lot of the stuff, a lot of shade and hate and all these sorts of things to people he doesn't like, and to politics he doesn't like, right? And that's it. That's part of the reason why people like her. So anyway, I like him rather. So anyway, Tectone does that, and then Miskiff decides to drop this on her, right? Yeah. Is a multimillionaire, 30-year-old bald male, admitted to grifting to white-ring politics because he needed to, has a court order for 10 years that he cannot own a firearm or cannot talk about his girlfriend, has another order in NDA that he cannot talk about his ex-wife who was going to come out with abuse. He's talking about Freem. Both his exes said Tectone has a micro penis. So this actually did happen a lot in court. This came out a lot during the transcripts in court, where apparently Tectone has a micro penis. Apparently he has a micro penis. And I think that's the funniest shit ever to me. Yeah. So, you know, that's an interesting fact to learn. I feel like I shouldn't know about that, but here we are, right? Tectone only wanted head from his ex-girlfriends and wouldn't have sex with them because he can't. Yeah, so this did happen too. Tectone apparently is... One interesting thing that you will learn from the court documents is that apparently Tectone does not want to do sex. Traditional sex. He doesn't want to put his dick and stick it in pussy. He just wants a blowjob or a hand job. Mostly blowjobs, right? Yeah. So, why? I don't think it was explicitly stated why. It could be part of his schizophrenia. It could be because he's disgusted with how pussies look, among many other things. Yeah. So this is true. He said on a podcast that he was called Toucan John to impress women, but his own rapist dad said that's not true. Oh. Yeah, so I don't know anything about this, by the way. Apparently, like, his dad was also sort of a rapist himself. Yeah. Would bring his convicted rapist father around other girls and creators he knew despite knowing he's abusive, admitted that he had a gun to his head. Oh, wow. That's fucked up. Yeah. Forced his ex-girlfriend to get prescription drugs and take Abilify, an antipsychotic medication that treats schizophrenia when she never needed it, and he has no medical background. Okay, apparently, according to the court documents, this also sort of happened. Yeah. It's because Pinkichu has... Was it ADHD? I forgot exactly. Was it autism or ADHD? But he has she's in the spectrum. and Tectone wanted to take the same meds that Tectone needed, and as a result, Pikachu would actually shake and cry from that. Not like in a joking shaking and crying right now meme, but like the drugs did bad things to her body. His dad had an incredible number of cases in the military to the proof where there's a bill or something named after him as a result. Oh shit, that's fucking bad, dude. That's insane to me. Yeah. Would bring out a whiteboard to tell her she's wrong about consent, non-consent. Would gaslight her to say he has memory loss if she said that she never said things, and would tell her she needs medication. Condition an audience that doesn't know streamers and content creators besides right-wing politics, because that's the only dumb enough people to listen to him. There's more, but I'm on a date with a doctor. Yeah, okay. So that happened. Yeah. So that happened. So did Tectone abuse steroids? So that's... I don't know, Yinka. Yeah, I don't know. ADHD isn't autism. Yeah, no, that's why I forgot if it was ADHD or autism, but I think it was autism. Yeah. So that happened. And Asmongold reacted to this. Let's see Asmongold's reaction to this.
Slicker. Yeah, crazy slick. Yeah, it's just there's so many people. I wasn't really close with them, right? But like, yeah. I just think streaming is just... It's so toxic, man.
It is toxic.
It's so fucking toxic.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not that directly involved or in contact with a lot of people in the streamer space. Like I tell you guys, I don't really have that much friends. I have a lot of acquaintances that I have positive interactions with on Twitter and shit like that, and I have a lot of mutuals, but I don't have friends that I talk to a lot. So when people say that streaming is toxic, that's because I only see what happens behind the scenes, and I'm not part of it. I just look at the dumpster fire that's happening. Yeah.
Tectone is a civil case. I don't want to, like, because I'm being... it's complicated. I will comment on it, and I want to talk about it, but...
Okay.
It's just based on a lawsuit that I'm in right now. I don't want to make any comments on it just for the sole reason of because of that lawsuit.
Okay.
If it wasn't for that, I would have talked about it a lot. I do have opinions on this.
Okay.
But I'm waiting for that to be finished. I apologize. But there it is. Sad the wrong people get put in such desirable positions? No. The fact is that what happened within the streaming community happens in real life constantly.
I wonder why he doesn't want to talk about it. But he just said it because he is in a lawsuit that involves this. So he can't and doesn't want to talk about it. That's why he's apologizing for it. Yeah.
This is a very regular and very repeated thing that happens in real life all the time. Like, there's always people that get involved with, like, weird sexual stuff, or they get involved with weird, you know, like, other bullshit. Not as much. I actually disagree with you. I think that inside of, like, friend groups that I've been a part of, there have been a lot... Maybe all of my friends are just, you know, problem boys, right? Because I have tons of friends that have, like, felonies, and they've been in jail and everything.
What? Okay, wow, okay.
So, you know, I guess for me, you know, it's not that big of a surprise. I don't really... I get along with...
I mean, me personally, chat, I can't be casual about that. You know what I mean? I don't think I can be casual about that to anything. He probably meant his childhood. Dude, it could be too... me personally, I don't think it's just his childhood. I mean, sure, it could be his childhood, but I'm also thinking, I'm guessing that he also means like actual streamer friends, right? Me personally, I cannot be friends with like a pedophile or a rapist or somebody that has like a very bad crime. Look, I can be friends with somebody that, how do I want to say this? I can be friends with like, maybe you've done something creepy IRL, but as law or not IRL, maybe on stream, right? Or maybe you are what many people call a political grifter. Maybe you are an insane or far left winger, right? That thinks that fucking people need to die for this shit or whatever. Maybe you are like people that social media or really anyone in the world would think is conventionally not, you know, a normal person. I will still be friends with you. I don't mind. As long as you are not a criminal or you're not actually like behaviorally problematic. I would like to think so. Right? I would like to think so. The moment you think you tell me you're a pedophile or you're a rapist or you sexually assaulted somebody or you fucking stalk someone or you did all these things, I don't think I can be friends with you. For real. Yeah. It doesn't matter to me if you did drugs. It doesn't matter to me if like you accidentally, like maybe let's say you accidentally killed someone in self-defense, right? Like that's okay. Maybe you OD'd, right? Like maybe you took drugs and you took drugs with a friend, and that friend OD'd and you OD'd too, but you survived and he lived, and you feel a lot of survival guilt for that because you recommended that drug to somebody, like shit like that. I would like to think that I'll probably I can be friends with you. You know what I mean? As long as you haven't done anything that's like actually criminal. Drunk driving? No, I'm not talking about drunk driving.
With a lot of people, and because of that I think that, you know, there are people that are problematic that, you know, they get along with me, and also like I'm kind of an asshole too, so it's like, you know, a lot of my friends have like problems or there's something, you know, there's some issue with them because I'm also kind of a problem boy too, right? So but in general, like this is like, I don't really care or want to have anything to do with other people's drama. I just don't give a shit about it. Like, I don't.
Well, at least, okay, here's my take. At least he's self-aware about it. He knows he's a problem boy. He knows, if I remember correctly, Asmongold himself says this, but he directly says he is not a good person. That he is not a good role model. Nobody should look up to him, X, Y, and Z. Right? And you know what? Respect. Because I actually believe like the same sort of principle. If you are going to be a content creator, how you present yourself is up to you. You should not be held to a moral standard. You shouldn't be seen as a role model, right? The reason why people hate it when people do that is because there's a lot of these fucking weirdos, these fucking sex pests, these fucking people who turns out to be like actual rapists and like blah blah blah, like pedophiles, and these are the same sort of people in the internet that is going to morally grandstand you. That is going to tell you that you're a piece of shit, that is going to like, you know, say, hey, this is the right thing, you are fucking wrong, and then, you know, boom, skeletons in their closet comes out like 3 years later and they're actually this, then they fucking disappear. Right? Right? And that's my problems with a lot of content creators. So I do believe that not every content creator has to be a good person. If you know you're not a good person, and you say that, and people still watch you for it, it's fine. That's okay. That's okay. Who cares? Right? Like, everybody has a place in everything. Right? Yeah. After the situation with Rich Campbell, Asmon was very much dejected and depressed, and he just began to be distant from everyone. Yeah, he is an entertainer and is not trying to be more than that. And that is precisely the job of the entertainer. The entertainer is only there to entertain. That's it. I grew up around bikers, and a lot of them are veterans or went to prison. I would not bring that up if another friend is currently going through a court case for SA. I mean, you're not wrong. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it depends, though. There's context to it, right? Like, you know, yeah, I say that I don't want to be friends with a pedophile, right? But it depends on what those people were there for. There are layers to this, I would like to think, and context. Like I always tell you guys, context is always like real. So anyway, that's his take on the Tectone situation. He doesn't really want to comment on it. And then he talks about it another time.
Read the next text. Okay, let me see what this is. What's this? And Tectone, I don't know what the fuck happened here. As I said,
even r/Asmongold is like, okay, this doesn't look good. And then Mythic Talent fucking dropped his ass.
Some shit happened with Tectone. I'm gonna be honest. I am so... Even r/Asmongold, okay, this doesn't look good. Yeah. Do you know why? It's because my subreddit is one of the only subreddits that's out there trying to actually look at what the facts are. I think this really proves a lot. That like the moment that like any time that something happens, the way that I look at it is as objective as possible.
I don't know about that. I mean, hey, maybe I don't watch Asmongold enough, but that's quite a claim to say. Yeah. Because I feel like if this, I mean, okay, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, okay, chat? But I just feel like if this happened to a content creator in a political stance that he doesn't like, if that happens to them, he'd probably be going in on them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know about that. I feel like I've seen you do that a lot. I can't name an example on top of my head, but I feel like I've seen it. He said subjective?
Only subreddits that's out there are trying to actually look at what the facts are. I think this really proves a lot. That like the moment that like any time that something happens, the way that I look at it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that, Asman. Yeah. And to a certain extent, right? Maybe it's not his fault, maybe it is. Because the problem with, like, the one thing that I've noticed off of, like, political streamers, right? Is that it's always going to be one way or the other. For real. Chat, for real. I'm going to tell you guys right now. This is why I hate political streamers. And that's why I never take anything that they say at face value or even believe what they say. Because a lot of them are similar to... A lot of them don't really even believe in what they say. This applies to both the far right and the far left, right? Excuse me. A lot of them don't believe in what they have to say. Or the enforcement of their principles and their morals are very subjective, right? They're very subjective. And not subjective, very case by case. They excuse the bad things that happens in their party or in their group or for the cause that they advocate for, and on the other they fucking lambast it on, right? Yeah. And it's more performative, something like that, I would like to think, yeah. Because doing that anywhere is going to get you a lot of clicks and get you a lot of money. And I don't know if I'm hypocritical saying this, or I don't fucking care. Hey, look, man. If there's any retard on Twitter or in my chat or in anybody's subreddit or anywhere really that calls me a fence sitter on a lot of the topics, yeah, there's a reason why I'm a fence sitter and why I want to look at this as objectively as I can, because you guys are fucking retards, right? A lot of these people these fucking politically enforced, like brain rotted, like fucking consume anything that's rage bait and blah blah blah. This happens a lot. These people are so entrenched in their politics, into the people that they do or do not like, that it's hard for them to see how bad it is when they do not support or they do support one thing or another. Right? Yeah. If I'm going to get called a fence setter for calling these people retarded, for pointing out what they think, and the problem is people, they know that this is happening, that they know that what they believe in is they know that the people that they support is wrong in one thing or maybe wrong in another, and like that's fine, right? Like I think the correct response whenever you see somebody that you like or somebody that you're friends with that committed a mistake would be to, let's say, maybe call them out or maybe like tell them, hey, you did fucked up here, but hey, I'll still be friends with you. Obviously, this depends on the crime committed here. If it is a crime at all, it depends. But like, you would like to think that the right thing to do is that acknowledge that your friend made a mistake or that your friend was being fucking retarded, and that's it. You can still continue to be friends with people that you do not like, that has committed something that you don't like. Again, it depends on what they did, right? But in Tectone's case, I feel like it's different, right? Like being fair, your friend is in the middle of drama, you look into it, and do you look into it or keep things fair, or is it impossible to be fair because of how close you are? I would like to think that the former. I'd like to think that I do the former, right? Okay. let's say let's think of an example. Okay, Parrot or Rima. Okay, let's say Parrot defended maybe Parrot made a very bad take. Let's say Rima got herself into trouble that she is objectively, well, maybe not objectively, but that she is like in the very much wrong of, right? And I'm going to cover that drama. I'm going to say, hey, Rima, you fucked up here, right? And I'm still going to be friends with you, right? And you know what? I'm gonna do, chat. I'm even going to do that in DMs. I will tell her, hey, Rima, I think you fucked up here. And maybe Rima will tell me why she doesn't feel that way. Maybe Rima will like defend herself or whatever the case might be. But if it's drama, if it's big drama that I feel I have to cover, and you know, I'm not going to go live without me talking to Rima about it. And then I'm going to say my piece, right? But I'm still going to say what I think regardless. That bias in my head where I will side with Rima because she is my friend will never, ever go away. It's how I conduct that bias. It's how that bias manifests. Right? I think that's all about it. Yeah. Yeah. Dian Asman said multiple times that he won't talk about friend dramas because he will be biased on it. Yeah, and you know what? Based. Good on him for saying that. He recognizes that he's going to do something, so he's not going to talk about it. Yeah, no, I respect that decision. I respect that decision. Me personally, I personally would probably do the same, but again, it depends on the drama that I'm talking about. Bias will always be there for you. If you are going to be a friend, you should be as fair as you can. Yeah. Yeah. Because I am in the belief that if you really are friends with somebody, you don't enable or like encourage bad behaviors. Right? You want them to be in the right path. Well, right is subjective here, but you want them to be principled. You want them to be moral. You want them to be like a good person. Right? You hold each other accountable without fucking roaching on them like a fucking retard. I think that's what real friends do. Yeah. And I would like to think that's what I do. I have done that multiple times to like a few streamers. And some people have done that to me. Where, like, you know, a peer of mine will say, hey, I don't appreciate how you covered this drama. It felt, it felt selfish. Oh, sorry, not selfish. It felt insensitive. Or, hey, you doing this kind of makes me look bad, blah, blah, blah. Or and blah, like all of these sort of things. And you know what? Respect. Right? Because that's the nature of content creation. And I feel like, and that's why I appreciate my friends, chat, and my peers and my acquaintances. I really do. Because they're the type of people who would not roach out on me. They would rather approach me first before talking about shit. And then we try to address it privately. And then if I want to talk to them about all of their dramas, I will also tell them about it too. Right? Like, okay, a big example of this is, I'm not trying to say that I'm a good person for saying this, chat. Because what I'm saying right now is not even the definition of a good person. It's just what real friends do. Yeah. Like what I'm saying or doing here is not a special thing. What content creators acting like actual adults? True. I mean, to be fair, a lot of people would not be content creators if they were actually reasonable people. You know, there's a reason why a lot of like retards become content creators because they're not that smart. And I agree with that. I wouldn't be that smart for anything at all, too. I agree. TBH, Aswan doesn't need to have an opinion on it, but saying he doesn't care about it because they're friends kind of sounds bad. I think, me personally, I think Asmon does have to talk about it. Because, we are going to cross into the territory of, knowing things. Right? If Asmongold knew that X person did this, And he's out here doing a lot of videos, doing a lot of people criticizing other content creators for doing exactly the same thing that his friend did, then that makes him look bad. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things. I'm not saying that that's what Asmongold is doing, because Asmongold, what he's saying is that he's doing it because he knows because it's a friend drama, and because it's a friend drama, he doesn't want to talk about it because he's biased. Yeah, and that's fine. He's acknowledging that he's unable to do that, and that's fine, right? Facebook Messenger, yeah, Facebook Messenger. So but I am curious on what he says. I'm curious about what he says. Probably not. He's probably not gonna address it though. Probably not. I'm gonna be honest with you. We are gonna know soon. Noxtaco said it was biased, and he will wait for the Google Doci. So I have seen a lot of sentiments saying something along the lines of the court that this happened in. The judge was apparently an activist, and there was like inherent bias against females, with females there. But we'll get into that later, right? We'll get into that later. So, brother, he's in a lawsuit. He can't talk. Yeah, no, that's exactly what I said too earlier. Asmongold doesn't want to talk about this probably ever. Now he can't talk about it now because he is in the lawsuit. But 2 years from now, he's not gonna talk about it because Tectone is his friends. Like, that's it. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, let's see. That happened. This happened. Okay. Then, of course, we see Mythic Talent dropping him. And a lot of people are not happy about this, chat. A lot of people are not happy about this. Because, how do I want to say this? Obviously, we're seeing a lot of memes. We're seeing a lot of memes where they're shitting on, they're shitting on Tectone. But a lot of people who are, like, maybe they side with Tectone's politics, or maybe they like him as a content creator, see this as like a backstabbing and unprofessional thing to do. And like Mythic was, what's the term there? Taking advantage of the situation to make themselves look good. Yeah. I'm confused about what's going on. Oh, yeah, basically, Tectone lost a lawsuit and got accused of all these things that were 50%, more than 50% likely to be true. And then, people are reacting to it. People that follow his politics, or people that are his friends, or people that like him as a content creator are trying to defend him. And the other party who knew or think that Tectone has always been a bad person are not defending him. That's it. What's this? Okay, let's look at this. What is the Tectone lore? Okay, let's look at the Tectone lore. Okay, chat? Okay, LSF. Tectone was brought onto OTK by Rich Campbell, who was also accused of SA and rape, by the way, because he's a gacha content creator, and Rich was also a fan of gachas. He became friends with Misgift, who lent him 300k to buy a place near OTK. He is a gacha content creator known for drama with other content creators. He loves drama, makes drama vids. He's even said so on stream before, like multiple times, and there will still be dipshits who argue this point. He is a drama starting content creator. I agree with that. That's what I said. That's literally what I said, why people don't like him. That he isn't just a drama farmer, he is a drama starter. Yeah. Sounds like when Mr. Beast was Charlie and Ludwig's friend, so they took their audiences outside for people, for them to finally make a video on Chris. Sounds like when Mr. Beast was Charlie and Ludwig's friends and took their audience and outside people for them to finally make a Chris Tyson vid. Oh, I remember that. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Have you already read Mujin's post? No, not yet. So let's look at this. Let's continue reading this. He was jettisoned to popularity during the Genshin Impact launch days and was brought into OTK to diversify into the weeb gacha anime market. but he soon started falling off after quitting Genshin and pivoted harder towards drama content. He's known to start drama even before Genshin in other communities like Arknights. Just search Arknights Tectone on Reddit and you'll get threads detailing everything. He got into a bunch of fights with Genshin content creators such as Enviosity, Atsu, I don't know how to pronounce that, Dish, and Mtash for various reasons. I remember some of these names. I remember Enviosity being a bitch though. It would be easier to list which CCs he hasn't been in fights with. At this point, he has created a gang of content creators that will support him and believe he is a bro of content creators, and they all basically live in some kind of alternate fraternity universe, which has been noted by content creators like Gachasmag and Vulcan during a podcast together. Obviously, OFC, they don't say it negatively, but Tectone supports smaller CC content creators in return for shilling them for him. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I see this a lot. A lot of big content creators actually do this, by the way, chat. They don't say it negatively, but Tectone supports smaller content creators in return for them shilling for him. Yes. So this is, a lot of content creators do this. I see this all the time, where a big content creator will see a smaller content creator and prop them up, just so in the occasion that smaller content creator blows up, the bigger content creator can do something with them. It's basically like investing in a smaller content creator. It's sort of, I mean, in the entertainment space, a lot of things people do are transactional. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or they're so scared that they will take his side anyway when they themselves are the ones being shat on by him. Okay? See Hex Juice drama. She had a falling out with Tectone over some dumb BS involving Zenless Zone Zero being a good or a bad game. Tectone gaslit all over her. Mtash got mad and started saying how this always happens and all his friends turn on him eventually. Tectone gets mad, says Mtash is jealous of him and is a shit friend. Mtash and Tectone break up. Then Tectone says actually they hash it out behind the scenes but will never talk to each other on stream again. That's the good ending. Usually, it's his fanbase brigading the other side's streams and social media, and this sort of thing happens over and over and over again, like repeatedly, because it's what gets him clicks and views. The sad thing about Tectone is that he's known as the biggest gachas content creator, but he got there by being the most absolutely horrible piece of shit to everybody around him, unless they shill for him, cowing to those who disagreed with him, buying off other CCs with clout, and then abandoning the games he covered when they became less popular. When he says friends, what he actually means is people who will unquestionably support him at all times. Wow. So arbiters. Yeah. So, isn't this kind of what Hassan does, though? I'm gonna be real with you. Isn't this also... Yeah. Doesn't Hassan do the same thing? Right? Or oh, yeah, right. Thank you, Rushady. Yeah, that was also on my head, too. Like, wait a minute. This sounds familiar. Yeah, Hassan... Yeah, Hassan. This happens to Hassan too. More blatantly, at least. So yeah, that happens. Anytime somebody criticizes his life choices or the way he treats others, he responds with some BS about why are you worshipping my life, bro? As if it only involves him and not his victims. Nobody in the gacha community actually likes the guy. He's banned on both the Genshin and Honkai Star Rail subreddits. The ex-wife and XGF stuff is just icing on the cake. One of his favorite lines and excuses that his shills will bring up is that it's all just an act and he's totally different behind the scenes. Somehow, I highly doubt it when both his ex-wife and XGF, who defended him against the ex-wife in the first place, both says he's a piece of shit. Wow. Interesting lore. We are free from that pedophile racist fucker. How is Tectone? I don't think Tectone is a pedophile. There's no proof indicating that Tectone is a pedophile. Wow. Okay, I'm going to call this out right now. See, the reason why a lot of people in the internet cannot take a lot of the criticisms seriously or will only further make worse the drama that is happening is because of people like you. If somebody is a racist, call them racist. If somebody is a sex pest, call them sex pest. If somebody is an asshole, just an asshole, like he's very mean or a bully, call them a bully. Why do we have to make up lies? Why do we have to call them a pedophile if there is no proof that he is a pedophile? Why is it? Like, I hate that. I hate it when people label and there's absolutely no proof of the labeling. Yeah. I don't know about Pikachu, but Freem is crazy. Oh, I know that too. Yeah. So Freem is kind of crazy. That's the one caveat that I've seen from the court documents. Yeah, there's a reason why she's a VTuber, right? Like a lot of these women are kind of insane, right? Freem herself also kind of crazy. I'm gonna be real with you. But does that take away from what happened between her and Tectone? No, not really. But we'll see later, right? I'm waiting for the full court docs to drop so I can react to it properly. Kind of, bro. She is full crazy. Well, you know, well. To be fair, you are right. Yeah, she is kind of. She is like, yeah. You're right. So, yeah. Anyway, we'll get into that later. We'll get into this soon. Yeah, we see a lot of people celebrating this. We see a lot of people celebrating this. But Freem gets to the level where yandere is not fun anymore. She's terrifying. No, the yanderes in real life are terrifying. That's the thing. In anime, it's hot, but like, you know, IRL, a lot of these bullshit are actually scary. Yeah, actually scary. So anyway, lastly, okay, maybe not lastly, but then we get Muujin publicly making a post saying that he's cutting off all ties with Tectone. Okay, I've known about. Okay, can I zoom this in? Okay, there we go. Yeah. Legal Mindset was just going through the court docs. Yeah, I was on his stream. I was on his stream before my stream started. I just wanted like a little bit of lore and optics. So anyway, cutting up all ties with Tectone. I've known about everything even before it was a lawsuit. As far back as Q4 2024, so late 2024. Or maybe early 2025. I don't know what Q4 means in this case. If he's talking about this like actual quarterly or financial quarterly, who has no idea. But basically, he's known about this for a long time, right? What he did to the victim was incredibly disturbing and unforgivable. Any reasonable human being with the slightest hint of morals would feel sick to their stomach when they heard the full details. Over the year plus, Tectone has attempted to rebrand himself as a patriotic American who deeply cares about God, country, and family, grifting himself into an entirely new friend group, all while deliberately targeting a new breed of followers who defend him no matter what. Yeah, so this is what I mean by him fucking, you know, just being Asmongold Light. Yeah, right? Yeah. He made sure of this by constantly training and preparing them to hear bad things about him only. Twisting reality into a fanfiction about how people were only after him due to his political beliefs, even though he was innocent and just wanted to be left alone. So basically what Muujin is saying is that he plays victim for his political beliefs and does not acknowledge the fact that he has done a lot of harm to a lot of communities. He does, okay, maybe not harm, but like he's being a piece of shit to a lot of people and being a piece of shit to a lot of communities, right? Yeah. So he knew for a year but waited for a year to split. Yeah, so we're going to talk about that later, Nuclear. Yeah. Anytime someone would bring up what the victim said about him, he'd say that he had lawyers going after her, and that it was only a matter of time before the court would prove his innocence, and that OnlyFans whore should never be believed. Mind you, he was the one who encouraged her to make an account there in the first place, that he would often gloat about it to other gacha content creators. So I did saw this, yes. So Pink actually only made an OnlyFans account because Tectone encouraged it, right? And basically told her to do it. And when Pinky actually made her OnlyFans account, Tectone used that against her. So it's like, you know, it's like, brother, you put her into the situation. Now you're calling her out on it. It's like, you know, it's kind of odd. So, this reminds me of another content creator, Espiritu. Tectone talked crap about him and got his base to attack Espiritu and whatnot. Oh, I don't know anything about that, H-Chan. Yeah. Just got done with watching Legal Mindset stream, going through the case. So far, I can say Techie is a weird horn dog, but Pinky does not sound completely innocent in this situation. Oh, it's because they're crazy. I actually do believe that, you know, Pinky and Freem are not really, let's say they're not very stable people. Yeah. Right? Whenever dramas like this happen, that's usually always the case, where the accuser and the accused have their own problems. their own issues with each other. And usually both of them are bad people, but one of them are worse. So what the other does is that they fucking, it's basically mutually assured destruction and shit. Wait, Tectone is why Pinky starts OF because of Tectone? Yeah, Tectone encouraged and wanted Pinky to start an OnlyFans, and Pinky did start an OnlyFans. And, it's weird that Tectone would call her a whore for doing the thing that Tectone said she should do. So, yeah. So anyway, anytime someone would bring up what the victim said about him, he'd say that he had okay, wait, I already read this, never mind. Well, Tectone, the final court hearing lasted 7 hours, and throughout it all, even after having spent an obscene amount of money hiring an ex-judge that had been appointed by the governor of Texas himself, as well as 4 other extra attorneys assisting him, you managed to catastrophically lose to one woman who simply hired one lawyer in a case where the odds were against in your favor. Wow. Okay, so, I think there is like a merit to saying this, and people would, and against this, like this specific point, people would say, oh, but that's because like the place where the court happened, the judge herself was an activist, or the judge was very pro woman, and is all about feminism. So, it was the chances of Pinky winning there would win. But at the same time, Mujin has a point where you fucking hire 5 lawyers, one of which is like one of the best, and you still fucking lose. You hire Saul Goodman and you still fucking lose. How does that happen? You know what I mean? Yeah. So either way, even with those in mind, it's kind of weird. You know what I mean? Well, then he was probably most probably was guilty, something like that. Yeah. Because there is no absolute proof that he did do these things, but there is a high likelihood that he does. So, if you were a gambling man, it would probably be the plus EV move to bet against Tectone. You know what I mean? So anyway, listen carefully when I say this. I know women who have tried and failed to get restraining orders against stalkers that endangered their lives daily, all while presenting substantial evidence. You know what's crazy though? This was not even a restraining order. This was its upgraded version used for exceptional cases, a protective order, made on the basis of sexual assault. It's something that's extremely hard to prove, and the fact that the judge gave him a whopping 10 years is unprecedented. It's usually 2 years. It truly shows how much of a danger he was considered in regards to her safety. But of course, he'll choose to downplay this as some sort of left versus right political martyrdom, as if he's Johnny Depp and she's Amber Heard. The official court order is now finally public. You can see the main details and verdict in the tweet, and I quote it down below. Transcript will follow very soon, but I will not mention or share it, as it's most likely containing some extremely personal details for both parties, medical records being one of them. Well, Mujin, I'm guessing this is useless now because Legal Mindset literally was streaming, exposing a lot of these. So, that probably does not, I don't think this looks good when it comes to Mujin. Oh, we'll talk about that later, yeah. Because to a certain extent, reading this was a bit weird. Yeah. Let it be known from this point onwards that anyone still caught defending Tectone is purposely ignoring facts for what most likely is a desperate and pathetic attempt at gaining favor or clout. As for me, I'm sure you might be wondering, why did I only choose to speak up now? Okay, yeah, that was my question. Why only now, bro? Okay, Mujin, I respect your hustle, brother. But, I felt like if you knew this, okay, here's the thing, right? If you are part or you know about, a bad thing that happened personally, right? And it involves a victim or involves somebody that you don't want to endanger, it's best not to talk about it. But at the same time, it's also not to move in public as if nothing happened. Or sorry, it's best not to move in public implying that same thing. Otherwise, you'd be seen as a grifter, or otherwise you'd be seen as an enabler, right? You're either a backstabber or an enabler, right? So it's best to shut the fuck up about it. I think the best thing to do here was if Mujin knew everything about this all along, then he shouldn't have said anything about it. He shouldn't have interacted with Tectone in the past about it, right? Say nothing about it. So that way, when he does say that he is going to stop associating with Tectone, then it's not weird. Yeah. Then it's not weird. So, what makes this weird for a lot of people is that Muujin knew about this for a long time, but before then, he was still responding or interacting with Tectone in a positive light. And that's what's weird. Because either one, on Tectone's side, like his fans or the people that like him, you're going to be seen as a backstabber. Two, on the people that are against Tectone, you're going to be seen as a weirdo for enabling this. Yeah. So so the best case to do about it is to just shut up. You shouldn't say anything. So that way, again, when you do say something about it, then it's not weird. So I make no friends. Okay. No, not really. It's the best. My best advice when it comes to a content creator drama, inter content creator beef is to shut the fuck up. Don't say anything. If there is drama between this person and this person, never mention it to anyone. Anyone. Don't spread it around. Don't gossip it. Don't do anything about it. Don't do anything about it. Yeah. Just keep it to yourself. Unless the drama that you're talking about is not drama, but actual crime, right? Like, let's say you hear that ex-VTuber was a rapist, then yeah, obviously, when it comes to shit like that, I would 100% gather evidence, make a video about it, or like report it to the authorities or the people that deserves to know it. If it's actual crime, I will not keep it a secret. Yeah. It's not about making... Yeah, Ziara's right. Yeah. If you knew something like this, then don't say anything about it, you know? Did Muujin know some of the highlight or actual details? Hard to say. He only says that he knew of it as back as 2024, but I don't know if he knows the full story. So, against that questioning, what does Muujin say? It simply wasn't my place to do so. But more importantly, protective order court cases are infamously difficult for the victim, especially in the state of Texas. Saying or even hinting about anything could have very easily endangered the entire case for her. It's not about not talking about it. It's more so why engage with him positively. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, hey, but like I said, no, I'm gonna talk about it later. Furthermore, saying that Tectone is most likely a psychopath who also happens to be a schizophrenic, who doesn't take medication, this is true. I told you guys about this is true. And had a sizable gun collection, I couldn't even pretend to completely ties with him. Oh! The victim was in constant daily fear for her safety, and I wasn't about to make it worse by having him become even more paranoid, especially since he constantly threatened to leak videos taken of her without her consent and she dared to speak out against him. Yeah, no, we know this. We know this, right? So, basically, the reason why he doesn't say anything about it is because if Muujin said anything about it, then Tectone would have done something worse for the victim. Gotcha. Okay. And finally, to really put salt in the wound to any of the same tired ex-users that will undoubtedly coming out to defend him, no, the victim did not do this for clout. Saying that she has way more followers than Tectone, she also definitely most likely did not do this for the money. Seeing that she makes significantly more than him, something that really pisses him off. Oh, I see this a lot in a lot of content creators as well, chat. I see a lot of content creators who are in relationships that is jealous because their partner makes more than them. I think like the biggest publicly that we know of right now is Mizgif, right? Like if you guys remember correctly, Mizgif was very jealous and was very envious of the fact that Emmy has more viewerships than him. Yeah, just like Mizgif, exactly, just like Mizgif. This was simply done because the guy couldn't stop mentioning and slandering her every single time he went live, seriously, and because she had a genuinely fear of her safety. You know what? I'd say that's warranted. Given that after losing the case, he'd go as far as leaking private court documents to his Discord moderator, who then leaked them to the public through his Discord server, which in turn doxed her current residential address to God knows how many very people. Oh god, that is very bad. Yeah, that is very bad. Okay, chat, I'm gonna be real with you. Okay, I'm gonna be real with you. The sole fact that Tectone is a schizophrenic who has been threatening people, who owns a lot of guns, who does this shit, I would like to think that's good enough to, one, take his guns away, and two, make it so that he does not and should not be able to be allowed near him. I think that's enough proof. You prove to me that that's the case? Yeah, 100%. 100%. That's all I need. You know? No crime is being committed here, but again, that's because he wasn't charged, he wasn't tried to be a criminal. He was tried, basically the entire point of the lawsuit was to prove that Tectone was a danger to Pink. And it seems like that was the case. Yeah. Yeah. In the end, I hope that the victim can finally live her life free. Yeah, okay. Also need to mention that your politics mean less to me than the dirt under my shoe. I am not an American citizen. Oh, true. Okay, so that's good. Yeah. So Mujin and I are also in the same case. I don't care about Tectone and his politics. I don't care about the politics that they peddle. I don't care about the politics that his opponents peddle. Okay, I don't live in America. I'm not involved in what the fuck happens to ICE or some random guy gets fucking shot. I don't care about any of that. Okay, I don't. We're looking at this purely from on the frame that Tectone is a good person or not, and has done these things or not. Yeah. Do you think, Dian, you think this will happen again because of Emeru and Mies drops? I have no idea. We'll see, but we will be farming once that happens. We will be farming. Yeah. You're friends with a rapist, Lamau? Who's he talking about? This you? This guy who molests women without their consent is calling me a rapist? Oh, wow. Okay, wow. Fucking burn him, I guess. Mike from PA. I don't know who this person is. Who is Mujin's friend that's apparently a rapist? But Diana, you gotta cover the advanced GG. Yes, I will. I'm gonna cover it later. I'm curious. Who's the rapist? Oh, Floki is here. Isn't Floki the person that, like, Shondo called a groomer as a joke? Okay. Mike from PA is Hassan Orbiter. Okay, Hassan Orbiter. Never mind. That's all I needed to hear. This isn't conviction. It's a preventative measure. You're kind of lying on how it... Yeah. We're not... I don't think anybody is... Okay, so there might be a lot of retards out there that is basically saying that, yes, he is tried for this. But, yeah, no, I think we all agree that, yes, it is a preventative measure, right? The court has enough proof that Tectone is a dangerous person. So, yeah, do this. So, yeah, you're kind of lying on how hard it is to get restraining orders. I wouldn't know anything about the restraining orders part. No. Marjorie of a quote retweet is calling Mujin out for knowing. Yeah, we're gonna get into that later. Bro, you knew? I knew there was something off with you. I just couldn't quite place it. This shows me what? Okay. If you knew about this for so long, why didn't you kite tie sooner? Chibi reviews, you should read this. Okay. You know what? Let's look at the quote retweets. I want to see this. Fucking liar. You knew about this for more than 1 year, but you continued to respond and support Tectone up until a month ago. You fucking lying sack of shit. Yeah, you totally didn't say anything because you were just pretending to be Tectone's friends for safety. Yeah, this is what I meant. Mujin didn't have to reply to him, you know? Yeah. You knew he was a rapist and still chose to be friends with him? You're literally using the victim to justify why you didn't distance yourself. Yeah, okay. Another lolly hater turned out to be an actual sex pest? Wait. Okay, fill me in on this, chat. So he's actually in that train. He's in the lolicons or pedophiles train. I thought he was a gacha gamer. Isn't he a gacha gamer? Isn't that like, wait, what do you mean? He is? Oh my God, that makes me dislike him even more now. Did you cover Lakari too? No, I haven't got into Lakari. Yeah, so a lot of people are calling him out. A lot of people are calling Mujin out. Damn. Damn. And you know what? Like I said, maybe it depends on what you think, but there's a certain validity to it. I'm sorry, Mujin. Like, you know, I think that's just how it should go. Like, you know, when you know this shit, just keep quiet about it or don't engage with the guy positively. Right? Yeah. Oh, Mizu is here. Wow, so there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people. That's crazy. That's crazy. Hold on, let me read this again. Finds that there are reasonable grounds to believe that the respondent committed one or the more sexual assault, stalking. Gotcha. Okay. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Why the fuck did Mujin spoke? Probably just to make an announcement off of it or something. Yeah. Yeah. Curious. Curious. So, what I'm curious now, okay, speaking of curious, what I'm curious now is how this will end up, right? Because, okay, so I'm gonna be real with you, okay? I'm waiting for Legal Mindset to make the short version of the legal documents just so I can see what is up with that. Like I said, I did look at everything. I kind of wanna, we're going to have a part 2 here later. I kind of wanted to see like what Pinky said and what Tectone said just so I can have like a more, I can talk about it a lot more critically. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, my main takeaway from this, from all of this is this. I'm sure that you guys know about my opinion about Tectone. I don't think I like him. I found his commentary on online discourse disingenuous. I know I have peers and mutuals that like him, have been helped by him, has been elevated by him, and I respect that. I understand why you don't want to immediately throw him under the bus, right? Or still want to see the best in him. And you know what? I don't expect you to. I don't actually, you know what? If he is your friend, then I expected like some level of like some sort of defense or some sort of, like you benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because I would do that to my friends too. Whenever I see a friend or mutual of mine get into drama, my first instinct is to always give them the benefit of the doubt and find some sort of excuse or pass to them as long as what they did isn't dangerously bad, right? Like I said earlier, like nobody's perfect. Even myself, my friends, and my content creators' friends can get into drama. They can have unreasonable crash outs, can be in what I perceive is in the wrong side of a certain discussion. But I always try to be unbiased, but it's inevitable that bias will always be there, right? In the case of Tectone, this guy is not any of that. If I extend that same sort of treatment to him, if I extend that same sort of treatment to him, I cannot find myself liking him the same way, right? And frankly, this opinion of mine was shaped by the very few appearances that I've seen from him in VTubing drama. And the takes that I've seen from him are either very bad faith, ill-informed, or blatant lies, right? I can forgive ill-informed takes. I have had ill-informed takes. Not all the time we have all the information that we can have on certain discussions or certain topics. But me personally, I always want to change my opinions is always like flexible. Whenever new information comes out, I always try to like change if the opinion is worth changing or not. Right? The most recent that I can remember is the Cinder drama. I remember fucking Tectone claiming that he read through all of the 1K page Google Docu in the very few hours that it was released, and he spat out his take. To me, that was bullshit. To me, that told me enough that he's the type of person who spits out his takes for the sake of spitting out his take and giving his opinion. I don't think he consumes or talks about the drama and the shit that he talks about in good faith or genuinely. Yeah. Not I don't think he does that because he has anything productive or critical to say. He does that not because he has something good faith to say, but just merely to like what the other people are claiming in LSF. It's purely just to cater to his audience. It's purely just to like, you know, ride on Asmongold's like audience, right? And again, Asmongold actually has opinions that are his own opinions that he believes in. I believe that Asmongold himself actually believes in a lot of the things that he says, and you know, Asmongold cares about a lot of the things that he talks about. I believe that, right? Because there are people that are just mentally ill like that. A lot of my friends and I myself are very mentally ill about the things that I care about, and that's why we talk about it a lot. Some people can't not talk about it, and I respect that, right? I have some takes that I disagree with Asmongold, some things that I agree with him, but in general, Asmongold is a very neutral, slightly positive content creator in my eyes. I think like I like him well enough that I would consume his content, but I would not suck his dick. You know what I mean? Yeah. Tectone is not that person. Tectone is absolutely not that person. Yeah. Right? Tectone, how do I want to say this? It all benefits him. Yeah. Tectone preys on lower sub or follower content creators or content creators that are struggling mentally and string them into the circle. And I don't like that. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Falgo. This is what Legal Mindset was mostly criticizing him. He just doesn't think when he talks sometimes. Yeah, and I think that's the problem, right? I think that's the problem. Because, how do I want to say this? How do I want to say this? When you're a content creator commentating on drama, even when you're a political content creator commentating on politics, and something happens and you want to make money out of it, some self-awareness is needed, right? Tectone doesn't have that self-awareness. He does. He doesn't. Right? I'm gonna be honest. Again, I don't give a shit. The 10th time, I don't give a shit about his politics. How do I want to say this? I recognize that the things that he's been accused of is not criminal. He's not going to jail. He's not getting on a list. I am aware that there might be factors in the court that I know nothing about, but even with that in mind, even if there is not a 100% shadow of beyond of a doubt proof that he is not criminally charged, that he's not this, I am inclined to believe that he's not a good faith person, or that he even is a good person to begin with. I am inclined to believe that the things that comes out of his mouth are not the most genuine, not the most productive, and not even the smartest. I think there are multiple times in his entire history in the internet where he shouldn't talk about things, and that's what got him into this goddamn drama in the first place. Why he got this lawsuit slapped on him. If he just stopped talking about his relationship issues, the things that were under his protective order, then he wouldn't be slapped with this fucking lawsuit that ended with him losing. Right? Integrity goes a long way. It's not even just integrity. Okay, like here's the thing. If you're a drama farmer and like you just talk about drama for the sake of talking drama, you know, maybe it's fun for you, maybe it's just, you know, it's fun for you, maybe it's a way for you to like money. I respect that. You know what I mean? To a certain extent, I will always respect the grind. It's that self-awareness that I want you to do. But if you do that, I would like to think I want you to have some self-awareness, and you should be able to take what you are dealing. Yeah. I don't care if you're a drama farmer. Go farm your drama. Go start your drama. Just know what you're doing, and don't be dishonest and bad faith about it. Right? Don't claim yourself to be a fucking American patriot fucking, going on this crusade for the betterment of America and saying all this shit, calling out all the bad actors in the internet, when what you're doing is not exactly that. No, dude, you're fucking starting drama for clicks and views. Be fucking honest about it. The fact that you are buying bots tell me enough. You know what I mean? Like, what I'm doing right now, chat? Look, I'm self-aware enough to know that what I'm doing right now is also farming this drama. But you have to be aware about it. And you have to be aware that sometimes you're the farmer and sometimes you get farmed. That's just what happens. Maybe self-awareness would help, but even with that, he would still be in a piece of shit. Yeah, and I would agree with you. And like I said earlier, I'm okay with content creators being a piece of shit, right? You're not beholden to any morals or any sort of standard or any sort of, like higher elevated thing just because you're a content creator. No, if you have a platform, do whatever the fuck you want. You know what I mean? If you're an asshole, be an asshole. As long as you're entertaining. Your job is to be an entertainer. That's it. Yeah. Someone that done heinous can occasionally do good doesn't mean that they can be redeemed and be a good person. If we believe the lore keepers in LSF, he's only done that to elevate himself. Yeah, strategically elevating people that he knows can help him. Right? This opinion of mine won't change even if we... look, I'm waiting for legal mindsets like, again, his TLDR on this, right? But that opinion of mine will not change even if it turns out that Pinky is a crazy fucking Menhera and he got a lot of things wrong. Because, all this is enough for me to believe that this is the case. Yeah. Legal mindset is hella biased though, and I don't blame him for that. Yeah. Tectone was, if I remember correctly, a huge reason why legal mindset got into Mythic. Yeah, and I don't blame legal mindset for being that biased. And I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. Oh shit, what? Okay, yeah. So anyway, yeah, it doesn't matter to me if he's biased about that. We're all biased in some sort of way. Yeah. As long as he can give me the facts, it doesn't matter if he's presenting it in a way that seems biased, because I will consume the things that he's presenting without his bias, if that makes sense. Are we gonna watch the legal mindset? Oh, we might. Yeah, let's do it. Let's watch it. Before watching this, chat. Oh, sorry. After watching this, we're going to react to the advanced GG situation. So let's watch this.
Tectone files. Today we get into a drop of documents regarding Tectone and his...
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what that's perfect, Book Wizard. LM can be biased, but he shouldn't lie about facts. And I don't think legal mindset will and can lie about facts. Because it's actual like fucking court shit. He's reading what the court produced. So,
a legal saga with his former ex. We're going to get that today on the Legal Mindset, where we teach you to be your own judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney living over here in Asia. And this is a fast facts, the quick and dirty version of the latest in legal news. So let's jump right into the Tectone files.
Let's go!
And once again, this is regarding streamer Tectone, who is today our defendant in this case, the Eggman. Now, to be a real quick disclosure, of course, I do know Tectone. He's an individual I'm familiar with, so you could say I have a bias towards Tectone. But that being said, I'm going to try to do this as neutrally as possible and present both sides of the argument, because remember, there are always two sides of the argument, and particularly in this...
Yes, I agree. I'm going to read his mind and say, especially in the world that we have right now, where some fucking Menhera women can easily accuse like a random guy of being a sexual assault and blah blah blah, and the public will win him over. The public will tank it, hook, line, and sinker. People will take it at face value without any real like research and digging into the topic. That happens a lot anywhere. So, I am very much in the opinion that whenever shit like this happens, yes, fucking look at it properly. You know what I mean? Like, don't fucking call me woke for this shit, chat.
Post-debt Me Too era. We
True.
have to...
Oh god, see, we're mind melding right now.
Consider all of the factors before we just go out and cancel someone for these allegations.
Exactly.
Plaintiff Pikachu, who is a streamer.
How he's gonna give you all the facts if he's biased? But by basically, giving us screenshots of what the court said. The presentation and what the presentation of facts and the facts themselves are different, right? Like, if you're easily manipulated, which I don't claim that I'm not, if you're easily manipulated, bias will affect you. But if you want to take the facts at face, if you want to take the facts as it is, and you just fucking remove the fluff. You just remove the bias as I don't know how to explain it to BH, but you can do it. That's how I've always consumed content my whole life. Yeah.
Here, and we're going to be getting into their relationship. The important thing to notice between the defendant, Tectone, and Pikachu is they dated, right? So these are exes. They had a relationship that is now over. And then you have filings and accusations coming from this, mainly from a drop by Miskiff, who is clearly trying to
trying to fucking take revenge on Tectone, yeah, and OTK as a whole.
Out there that leads people away from his own case at this point. That seems to be his general legal strategy. So let's get into this. This is Pikachu versus Tectone over abuse allegations, both emotional and sexual in nature. There were filings both in the civil context and the criminal context. Now, the civil context that was taken all the way to a conclusion, but the criminal context, mind you, was a police report which was dropped. So that is very, very critical here, that there are no criminal
we know this.
Conclusions regarding Tectone, and that's something that needs to be very, very much reinforced throughout all of this. Now, Tectone did deny the allegations of Pikachu, including her of defamation and in filing counter evidence. But Tectone ultimately lost his civil suit and was ruled liable for SA.
So basically, TLDR, Pikachu, did that civil case. Tectone came in, fucking got 5 lawyers, right? One of them apparently being one of the best in Texas. Tried to counterclaim, and he still lost.
Even despite the fact that the criminal case was dropped by police. And this had consequences for Tectone because Mythic, the talent agency, which is also my talent agency, dropped him over this. Now, to be very clear about this, once again, with Mythic, I've made it very clear with them that I will be covering issues regardless of how things look. And with Mythic, they have a right, and I can say this based on my own contract, to drop you based on brand appearance, etc. And many advertisers are gun shy. So even if the allegations are just allegations, they can drop you. Think about Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp was dropped by Disney, dropped by other advertisers, simply because of allegations that were not yet proven in court. So this is something that Mythic dropping him doesn't make him per se guilty of anything at this point.
I agree.
Another person,
I agree with that. Yeah.
The way that's involved in this, and we're going to get into this, is Freem, who is a former marriage partner of Tectone. So while she's not necessarily a plaintiff, Freem's information is very much relevant to this analysis. So let's get into the kind of some background here before we get into a word. But actually, before we do that, let's get into a word from today's video sponsor. And now a word from today's sponsor, Delete Me. Okay, guys, let's be real. New Year's resolutions really do not last long, usually not outside January. Jim,
can I get sponsored by Delete Me?
Memberships, diets, budgets, all those things that are all nebulous, that don't have any set goals, that don't have any concrete things, those usually get blown before
Can I get deleted?
Day. But Delete Me, to sponsor this video, is a quick New Year's resolution that you can complete in just 5 minutes. The resolutions that I tend to keep are ones that are fast, they're easy to finish in one sitting, and they're net positive for my life. They do something good that I can get done very, very, very quickly. And that's the
Let's hope Lily and VTubers from Mythic doesn't get harassed for being friends with Tectone. I agree. I hate it. Okay, I'm going to talk about that later when we get into this drama, but I hate it when people go against the friends of a content creator if they get canceled. That's such a loser behavior to me. I was going to say something bad, but I'm not going to say it anymore.
That's exactly what's
that is so
Delete Me.
I hate that, dude. People are so fucking sheep. Holy shit. I fucking hate these people. These retards on the internet. These social moral polices. I fucking hate them.
Ever on this channel, it removes your personal details like contact information and your home address from hundreds of data broker sites that can be set up quickly in less time than a pizza delivery. And all of this, all the protection that you get from Delete Me runs completely in
Why are you watching the ad? Because we have to respect the ad, okay? If we're watching somebody's content and they have an ad on, we watch their fucking content. We watch the goddamn ad. It's a respect thing.
For you, protecting your privacy all year long. This is key for reducing your digital footprint, which can protect you from all of the scams out there on the internet. And there are tons of scams on the internet. As a naturally lazy person, and I am so lazy, this is something that even I, Mr. Captain Lazy, could get done really quickly, and it's the laziest smart thing you could do all year. Right now, get 20% discount with the link in the description and the pinned comments below. Now, we live in a world that's post-Depp versus Amber Heard.
Yes.
And this is actually, despite what people say, it wasn't Disney,
Amber
it wasn't Doki, it wasn't anything else that really blew me up. It was Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp and covering this case.
Amber
and in this case, BlawTube really blew up because we started covering this neutrally, whereas the whole world in that Me Too era was pro Amber Heard, was pro saying believe all women, believe what she says. And it turns out that Johnny Depp was indeed wronged here and he was vindicated in court. And so when I analyze the Tectone case, I look at this as we are in a post-Depp world. We need to live in a world where we don't believe my dog stepped on a bee and we don't believe any tall tale that came out of what Amber Heard's mouth or anybody else says, because we've seen cases out there in the US that I've covered on this channel, like Trevor Bauer, like the Khan case at Princeton, where we have people that are absolutely destroyed. Their careers are just absolutely wrecked based on pure allegation. So let's get into what happened. So all the evidence I'm treating at a higher degree if it's been filed with the court, not just online, but a lot of this stuff that's been filed, that's online, was indeed filed with the court. And every individual case has to be evaluated for its impact. So what does a civil case mean? Well, what that means is there's a standard of proof that's lower. It's preponderance of the evidence, 51%, you could say, instead of reasonable beyond a reasonable doubt, which is 99.9% of the time. And such, or up in the upper percentages of.
All evidence is treated at a higher degree because it's been officially filed with the court, not just online. Each individual case must be evaluated for its impact. The standard for proof is lower for civil cases. Tectone has not been convicted of any criminal act, so it is still defamatory to label him as a criminal. Yes. Cannot say he is a rapist. He isn't convicted.
But Tectone hasn't been convicted of anything criminal. So for all those out there, and I'm looking at you, all the pikers of the world and everybody else who's throwing the names out there, calling him the R word,
rape tone,
because of YouTube, is not actually okay. He hasn't been convicted. That is still defamatory to label him as a criminal when he is indeed not been convicted criminally. So one thing, looking at the background here, once again,
I think criminal would be the wrong label for it. I agree. I think dangerous is.
One, just looking at the background, Travis County in Texas has a huge pro-female bias in terms of outcomes. Women who file tend to get very, very, very favorable outcomes in Texas in Travis County. And there's a potential activist judge who had a DV bias, who had a history of that did not recuse himself in this case.
I don't know what that means.
Also, a jury pool that's biased.
I don't know what DV bias means.
Towards the plaintiff with a skewed heavy female bias. Everybody in the courtroom being female, that can tend to bias things when it comes to these outcomes. The other thing, which is different from the Ms. Kiff situation, is we haven't seen abusive communications. In fact, all the communications I reviewed show
domestic violence.
A reasonable, kind guy. He approached Pikachu as a friend, not even as a person trying to slide into the DMs, which, number one, is not a crime, but number two, that wasn't how he approached it. He approached this very innocently after he was betrayed in a relationship, which Freem cheated on him with somebody who was working at the same company, so a work partner, right? So after he was cheated on, he ends up engaging in this relationship, which once again, not smart to rebound, not smart to work with somebody, or engage with somebody.
He spiraled,
a streamer right afterwards. Dating streamers, always not good, right? Two streamers dating, always not good. But we haven't seen those abusive communications.
Didn't Mujin say he paid for a judge to cover his case? No, he paid an ex-judge. Like an ex-judge that's his attorney now.
When I review the communications, they look much more supportive. And by the way, I'm very, very, very cognizant as someone who struggles with depression myself. This is something I'm very,
sorry for
very
hearing
sympathetic to for both parts, right? Because Tectone has his own mental health stuff and Pikachu has her own mental health stuff. But when I read this communications between the two, it doesn't seem like this is abusive. So Pikachu says right here, I have something called PMDD, premenstrual dysphoric disorder, that I'm being treated for. So I'm in a lot of physical pain and my emotions are really bad. Like just feeling so depressed, I don't even want to. So on stream today, it was really, really rough. I'm trying to be tough through it all, but it's not easy when it feels like the end of the world. So please be patient with me. The doctor said it could be 6 months for treatment to fully work. But in the meantime, it's awful managing the mood swings and pain. And I understand this. I understand this completely. And so I'm sympathetic to this. And I understand that there may be some other things going in there with BPD or bipolar disorder, something I'm very familiar with. And I get that.
What?
I get that. She says, thank you to everyone for being so kind to me while I deal with this. I'm sorry for crying on stream. Well, I did that today. Sometimes it's harder holding it in, but I'm hoping by summer it's going to go a lot better to hang in there. It's tough. I get it. It's tough. And what does Tectone say? He says, I will never understand how much this must hurt you, but proud you're fighting through it.
Okay.
And this is not the language I would see of an abusive partner, someone who's hurting or someone who's out there to get somebody, but someone who really genuinely wants to help and genuinely cares. So Pikachu's filings regarding Freem are contradictory. She had filings regarding Freem to get her information taken down because Freem called her a house wrecker, called her all sorts of things, filmed her again without her consent, engaging in sexual activities with Tectone. Once again, several civil and potentially criminal violations regarding Pikachu and Tectone that were committed by Freem, and Pikachu filed to stop those, which is, to me, contradictory. And it seems like this may be a case of what you call buyer's remorse in dating, where you go back and you say, okay, well, now that I'm out of this, this is a situation where it was buyer's remorse. I regret things I did, or I regret stuff I did, even though it was consensual at the time. And unfortunately, as I got to report to you guys, the U.S. legal system weaponizes this. It allows people to go back, regret things, and then go get protective orders, go make claims in the future when all of this should be dealt with privately.
Sure.
So my judgment at this moment, having reviewed the documents that are out there, is to withhold judgment for the moment pending release of further documentation evidence. We may have stuff that eventually gets
okay, so I thought this was like arguments arguments supporting Tectone, but where's the arguments against Tectone? I'd like to see them. Is he gonna make a part 2? Yeah, withheld character for the moment, pending release. Post-dep world, yeah, sure. Miskiff releasing documents clearly takes pressure off his case, which contains evidence of abusive communication. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm gonna wait for a part 2, I guess. Because it seems like this is just like an argument supporting Tectone, but there's no argument against Tectone. You know, I kind of half expected the whole, I think he just dropped part 2. Oh shit, really? Let me see. Oh, not yet. Oh, okay, gotcha. So this is just the TLDR of the part 1 of the review that he did yesterday. And now there's a part 2 that he did today, and he's probably going to upload that either tomorrow. Okay, gotcha. Okay, gotcha. So there's probably going to be a part 2 tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. I guess we'll see that. That would make sense to me. Because, you know, I expected the whole Tectone having schizophrenia part. Tectone, you know, doing this to blah, blah, blah. Yeah. There's going to be a part 3 later. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're going to be reacting to this, by the way, chat, when it's all over. We're going to be reacting to this when it's over. So that's hype. At least as hype as you can make it. God damn. You know what I mean? So, yeah. My opinion will still stand, though. Like I said, no matter what happens off of this fucking whole event, I don't think I'm still gonna like Tectone. Yeah. Why don't we skim? It's hard for me to skim part 2. Because I watched like a whole 1 hour, 30 minutes of it. But the later half, I wasn't there. Yeah. Yeah, LM stream today was going over Pinkychu's testimony. Yeah, exactly. That's where I learned the whole, schizophrenia thing, the whole micro-penis thing, the whole Tectone revenge porn thing. Yeah, so I'm going to expect that tomorrow. Anyway, Miskiff got the transcripts. Well, I'm not going to fucking Miskiff. Who's the next accused? Destiny, Asmon, Hassan, random male VTuber? Hard to say. Hard to say. Too much information. Yeah, a lot of this is too much information. Yeah, I agree. So anyway, I'm guessing let's cover the next drama now. Actually, you know what? Before I do that, okay, hold on. As someone who watched Tectone a lot when he was a gacha content creator, yeah, he's not a very likable person. Tectone's career is still really allegedly going to be just like the Ubisoft company. Rest in peace. Yeah. So next drama now. Okay. TLDR from the whole Rev Says Desu and Miss Lala drama. Okay. So, Miss Lala made a statement saying fuck ICE. Rev retweeted her saying, literally, you are LARPing as a 1950s VTuber who's, you know, kind of racist and does all these things. And then, you know, Lala responds to him saying, fucking talk to me about it privately, bitch. I didn't do nothing to you. Why are you up in here on my ass? And blah, blah, blah. And then in response to that, a lot of Lala's peers and a lot of VTubers that like Lala has decided to tag Advanced GG or disassociate from Advanced GG because Advanced GG sponsors Rev, right? It was basically an attempt to take Rev's sponsor away from him. And it seems like Advanced GG is not folding to that pressure, right? Rev wasn't wrong on his opinion. I don't know about that. I think Rev was far off on his opinion, right? Like, if you like, it's just because Miss Lala has a 1950s LARP doesn't mean that he's suddenly gonna endorse racism or saying the N-word or something, right? Like, the argument for that is that if I LARP as a medieval person, like a medieval VTuber, like an adventurer, does that mean I advocate for slavery? And like just fucking murdering people in the streets? No, obviously not, right? So it's like, you know, just because you roleplay as something doesn't mean that you support X thing, right? But I get what Rev was trying to basically do there. What Rev was basically trying to say was that you're a fucking VTuber who is trying to do this for brownie points. Shut the fuck up. Yeah. So anyway, that happens, and then Advanced GG does that. People try to tag Advanced GG and like get them to respond to this, and it seems like Advanced GG is not folding. Hey, Advanced GG, dealing with the situation responsibly doesn't include removing negative reactions to your delaying this even further and immediately kicking from your Discord for daring to do so. At this point, you just keep him. You've shown your true face as a company, a supporter of murderers and pedophiles. You've done irreparable damage to your brand and reputation in this community, and I hope this post is seen by anyone still considering supporting them. Whether you agree with keeping them or removing him, being sensitive to the point that they remove negative Discord reacts is insane behavior by a professional company. I don't know anyone else, but not only will I not promote them, I will also be unfollowing anyone who still uses their code or sharing their products. So, wow, there you go. So, yeah, this happens. What's going on here? Alex. I'm guessing Alex is the Advanced GG, like, owner or something. We're aware of the unrest and concerns being shared right now. We have already taken necessary steps on our side in addressing the matter directly and privately under our conduct and representation standards. We will not turn this into a spectacle. We will not allow harassment and dogpiling in this server. Keep in mind, our team is currently operating out of Minneapolis. We deeply care about the safety of our staff and the broader Minneapolis community, as well as everyone in our community here. We appreciate your patience and understanding while we handle this responsibly. Okay. And then, what's the next one here? Wait, that's it? Wait, this person is calling out Advanced GG for this? This is an actual joke. It's way too little for this. You're kicking people and removing negative reacts immediately while repeatedly delaying a decision on our Rev until you see how much it's going to impact your bottom line under the guise of needing time to investigate. Taking time to work out the details after announcing you don't support his actions would have been one thing. Removing all discussions about the situation in your Discord, deleting your own posts because of comments, refusing... I'm gonna be honest with you, brother. I'm gonna be honest with you, brother. I feel like you're overreacting. In my opinion, right? How do I say? How do I want to say this? Any company should not be pressured to do something like this. Nobody. Any company should be as politically neutral as possible. And that goes in both sides. Right? Jesus. And I don't like it when people go after people's sponsors and friends, by the way. Going after people's sponsors is also such a fucked up thing to do. Like, I don't know why. Like, a lot of these people are asking companies to fucking disassociate. Like, I don't know. It's a very weird place. It's very weird. People are dropping Advanced GG because Advanced GG is not dropping Rev. Like, that's basically it. Like, come on, dude. Like, think about this numbers-wise, okay? Think about this numbers-wise. If you are a content creator that has like 500 subscribers, 500k subscribers, and you have a bigger reach than... Sorry, this person has a bigger reach than a lot of the smaller content creators who are partnered with you, and is calling for that person's boycott. Who do you think is gonna win here? Who do you think is gonna win here? You or the bigger content creator? It's always going to be the bigger content creator. That's just the reality of things. In an ideal world, that a smaller content creator would have the same voice, or, you know, the same sort of impact as a bigger creator in terms of like how anything operates. But obviously that's not how the world works, and you doing that actually only harms yourself, right? Like, come on, man. Come on. If you're going to make a company choose between you and a bigger content creator, the company is going to go for the bigger content creator because the bigger content creator makes more money. That's how it works. A company isn't beholden to anyone's, morals. Especially like a company like Advanced GG. Like, maybe if it was like a VTuber agency, I can see why, and why they would do that, and why they should do that. But like for a bigger, but for a company like this, like a product company, no. Yeah, any company that is not beholden to the public is not going to react to this. Not really. So anyway, there's another one of this. A trusted source has shown how Advanced GG is handling this situation internally. It's honestly disappointing. Rather than treating it with seriousness it deserves, it's being brushed off, joked about, and not taken in good faith. The way this is being approached behind the scenes does not reflect care, accountability, or respect to those affected. The disconnect is deeply concerning. My source, who is a staff member, also filled me in on the fact that there's a few partnership managers that will sit in a VC and talk shit about their partners, calling them annoying and other things. Well, I mean, if you are being annoying, then yes, that's what happens. This is normal. Anyway, let's see what happens here. I am doing what you are doing because I'm spreading the word. Z Papito Quick Law came to post the exact same thing. What happened? Why is everyone heated right now? An Advanced GG partner made some comments about someone speaking against what's happening with ICE. See this, blank? Is there a way to stop general chat for now? Can you put it on slow mode? I don't have access to it. I will look into it. Nope, I can't. We will have an equal amount of peeps trying to keep it civil and spread love in an equal mix of being nasty and saying mean things. I don't think there is. I'll continue to try to do something at the moment. I don't care anything. I don't think there is at the moment. Sadly, there is not. They're mentioning someone called Rev. Who is that? It's a creator we work with. He is known to review social media drama and has some political content pieces. This is what? Wait, you're trying to spread word about this? This is a nothing burger. They're confused. They don't know what's going on. So what they're trying to do is just shut the fuck up and not do anything about it. Are you for real? Wait, what? No, I'm not retarded. I'm not retarded. Yeah, okay. So, chat, I'm skimming it right now. It's literally just them trying to keep the peace in the Discord because it's apparently being fucking brigaded here. Yeah, okay. We are all humans and have feelings, but to outlash on others and watching others back that up isn't right. We are, but general is meant to be kept civil and we don't have mod powers to start muting. If things get more out of hand, we need an admin here just in case. Yeah, okay, so... Yeah, so it's people just being confused. Correct me if I'm wrong. No one is saying you're responsible for issuing an official statement about Rev's straw situation. That part is not obligation. What is your responsibility is how you conduct yourselves. Your words and your actions toward content creators, especially during a time of heightened tension. Talking negatively about content creator in voice chats, deleting messages, and shutting down questions instead of addressing them is misleading. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's basically what you're doing though. Think about why they are doing this in the first place, okay? Yeah, they're not responsible for issuing anything about the Rev says Desu and the Miss Lala situation. Yeah, we agree on that. But think about the fact that they're getting brigaded, they're getting these people fucking harassing them on Discords, disassociating with them on social media and the public. Yeah. And they don't know what's happening. They don't know why they're doing this. And of course, when that happens, because these people are annoying and brigading them, of course they're going to shit talk these people. Duh! And they have all the rights to. Because people are being annoying. And then we see this. Right? And then we see this. Alex, the actual person. We removed you because you were spreading hate through emojis and breaking server rules. You did not have a valid brand ambassador account upon our research just to set record straight. Wow. Wow. This response is incredibly telling and honestly made me sick to my stomach to see. Instead of taking accountability for who you're allowing to represent the company. Oh my god. Oh my god. You are coming into the Twitter responses of creators with legitimate concerns and claiming emojis as spreading hate. They have their right to react with emojis without being chastised for their opinions, just like you are claiming to the person you're protecting. He is not protecting anyone, Aurora. He's not. They don't want to deal with any of this shit. I'm not even defending Rev here because what I basically said earlier that Red made a mistake there. Red trying to make that false equivalency was the wrong thing to do. I'm not even defending Rev, but at this point, these people trying to harass Advanced GG and bringing them to issues, these sorts of things make them worse, make them look worse. How do you spread hate through emojis? Oh, basically, when you comment, when you make a something on Discord, you basically just like give them emojis, like you can give them the downvote emoji, a fire emoji is actually good, a thumbs down emoji, all these sorts of things. Yeah. Any company is going to want to be as politically neutral as possible. That is why any company, any talent agency, any of that will always have people that believes in different things. You know why? Because they can't care. They shouldn't care. They shouldn't give a shit. My god. How does one spread through hate emojis? And I shit you not. Yeah, so in the comments that in the people, sorry, not in the people, in the in the Discord server, whenever that Alex person said anything, apparently this person would react like this. Come on, man. Let's not pretend that there's any hateful thing that happened here. I don't think there is. This is a bit of an overreaction. I'm gonna be honest with you. No, not even a bit of a reaction. It's a super overreaction. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it seems like the quote retweets are also divided. Some of them are supporting Advanced GG, some of them are supporting the thing against them. Yeah. Yeah. Damn. Crazy. Well. Yeah, well. And you know what? I'm not talking about like him. I'm not talking about this person specifically. But I don't like it when people do this to anyone, to me especially too. Right? Because these are the same sort of people who will want you to take a side, who will force you to take a side. Again, I'm not talking about her specifically, but people that are like her. You know what I mean? They are the people that will want to take a side, that will force you to take a side. And that's weird to me. It's really weird to me. It's pretty, like, I don't know, man. I don't know anything about that. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Damn. They cannot accept that people have different opinions. They cannot accept that people don't want to have opinions or don't care to have enough opinions. Yeah. And I think that's the worst things. The worst thing, actually. Yeah. I'm sorry we're not affected by the stuff happening in your country. Just like how you're not affected by the stuff happening in my country. So the less... You know what I mean? Yeah. Do any of the VTubers have an actual following? I mean, they have decent viewers, I would like to think. They're probably sub 100 viewers, though. Not that I think their size means anything, but their size means anything in the sense where it's understandable why Advanced GG would rather choose a content creator that's bigger. You know? Yeah. So anyway, I think that's that, chat. I think that's all the drama that we're going to be talking about for now. So, yeah. I appreciate all of you coming into the stream. I appreciate everybody for the super chats and the donations. Again, I'm going to farm this. We're going to keep reacting to the stuff that's going on with like Tectone and the other people. So yeah, we'll look at that. We'll look at what's happening. And that will be it. Bye-bye, chat. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for coming. Yeah. Go to sleep or something. I hope you get a good wine after work. And big day for the unemployed. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.